Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply and allow the air to travel throughout your body. Feel the flow of life coming in and going out like a silent reminder that everything in the universe is in motion. Energy never stops. It only transforms. Now, turn your attention to the center of your chest. Feel the rhythm of your heart. Each beat is a wave vibrating in the quantum field, sending information, emitting frequency, creating reality. You may not realize it, but at this very moment, your energy field is communicating with the universe. You are a living antenna of consciousness that are receiving and transmitting vibrations all the time. Quantum physics teaches us that at its most fundamental level, reality is not made of matter, but of energy and information, what we call the physical world. It is merely the result of an invisible dance between particles that appear and disappear in an ocean of infinite possibilities. This ocean is the quantum field, a space where everything already exists in potential, just waiting for the right vibration to become reality. And the bridge between that field and your experience is your consciousness. Your mind is the instrument that collapses possibilities. Your thoughts are the commands. Your emotions are the vibrational force that gives shape to the invisible. Every time you think something and feel something about it, you send a signal to the field. The signal is picked up by the universe that, in a neutral and precise manner, it begins to reorganize the energy around you to reflect what you are vibrating. Therefore, your outward life is a perfect reflection of your inner world. The field does not judge, does not compare, does not question. IT simply responds to frequency you emit with greater coherence. Modern neuroscience confirms what spiritual traditions have always taught. The brain is plastic, malleable, capable of creating new neural connections and new states of being. Each repeated thought reinforces an electrical pathway. Each sustained emotion reinforces a specific chemical reaction. And over time, these pathways become the programs that govern your perception. If you think and feel fear every day, the brain learns a fear pattern and reproduces it automatically. But if you think and feel gratitude frequently, the brain and body are beginning to recognize gratitude as the new normal, and the field responds to this new vibration with experiences that correspond to it. Quantum reprogramming begins right here. When you decide to change the energy you emit, when you choose to become the conscious observer of your own mind. The human mind is like a prism. IT can distort the light of consciousness or can expand it. When you observe without judgment, energy flows freely again. But when you identify with fear, with guilt, with control, you create interference that limits your frequency. Everything you experience, think, and feel is vibration. Every word you pronounce carries an energetic signature. Every thought that sustains generates measurable ripples in the field, and each emotion acts like a magnet, attracting experiences that confirm the vibration you have chosen to maintain. Today, at this very moment, you are vibrating at a specific frequency. This frequency is creating the kind of reality that you perceive as life. But what's most fascinating is that this vibration can be altered at any time. Simply shift the focus of your consciousness. Consciousness is the most powerful element in the universe because it is not a physical force. It is the very principle that gives rise to reality. Before form, there's intention. Before matter, there is vibration. Before the experience, there is the observer. You are that observer, and what you observe, you create. Quantum neuroscience calls this wave function collapse, the moment when potential becomes reality through conscious attention. When you think, feel, and believe in something intensely, the universe interprets this as an energetic command. The field responds, reorganize as particles, and manifest the corresponding experience. The secret lies in coherence. The mind creates when it is in harmony with the heart. Thought provides direction. Emotion provides energy. Intention provides meaning. When these three elements align, you become a conscious creator. The field ceases to reflect chance and begins to reflect your intentional vibration. You no longer need to fight against reality. You can co-create it. And this co-creation doesn't happen through effort, but through frequency. Quantum transformation is silent. IT begins with breathing, the moment you choose to reconnect with yourself, at the moment when you decide to observe your thoughts with kindness and align your emotions with what you truly wish to manifest. In this episode, we're going to delve deep into this process. You'll understand how quantum neuroscience explains reprogramming mental patterns. You'll understand how emotions act as vibrational keys that open or close the doors of possibilities. And above all, you will learn how to use your own consciousness to collapse into a new reality. Take another breath. Feel the air coming in, the energy circulating in the silence between one breath and the next. IT is in the space that the field is located. IT is in this space that creation happens. The journey begins now. And the first step is simple, yet powerful. Be present. Observe. Feel it. And allow your vibration to rise. The quantum field is listening, and all he needs is your conscious attention. It all begins with a moment of silence, a simple moment when the mind quiets down and you perceive something subtle, something that has always been present, but is rarely heard. Conscience. Consciousness is a space where all things happen. IT is the invisible field that observes, feels, and creates. Quantum physics describes this field as the energetic fabric of the universe, a vibrant ocean of endless possibilities, where everything that exists, matter, energy, and thought, it's just a different form of the same essence. For a long time, we believed that the world was purely physical, made of atoms, particles, and concrete structures. But modern science, especially quantum physics and neuroscience, has shown that reality is not something fixed. IT is rather a malleable field that molds itself according to the observer. You are that observer, and everything that you perceive, feel, and believe, it acts directly on the field, collapsing possibilities into reality. Every thought is a vibration. Each emotion is a frequency, and every belief is an energetic program which defines the type of experience you attract to yourself. When your mind repeats an idea, this idea begins to create neural pathways in the brain reinforcing emotional and behavioral patterns. Over time, these trails become so deep that you start reacting automatically to life, without realizing that he is merely repeating old mental programs. Quantum neuroscience studies exactly that, how thought and emotion interact with the energy field and create the invisible structure of human experience. Nothing you experience is entirely random. There's a vibrational pattern behind everything. The mind sends electrical signals, the heart emits magnetic waves, and together they form the electromagnetic field that surrounds it, a field that communicates to the universe what you truly believe yourself to be. Therefore, if your mind vibrates with fear, doubt, or scarcity, this pattern returns to you as circumstances, people, and events which reflect exactly that frequency. But when you start emitting a vibration of confidence, love, and abundance, the field responds in kind. Reality is reorganizing itself, and previously unseen possibilities begin to emerge naturally. Nothing on the outside needs to change for everything to change. The transformation begins within. External reality is merely a reflection of the internal state. When you change your vibration, When you consciously choose a new thought, you alter not only your mind, but the entire quantum field around you. This is the first step in quantum reprogramming, the recognition of their power as a conscious observer. From the moment you realize who is not a victim of circumstances, but their creator, the energy changes instantly. Consciousness awakens, and life begins to respond in a completely new way. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe observing itself, and when consciousness awakens to this truth, the game changes. The impossible ceases to exist because everything becomes a matter of frequency, alignment, of coherence between mind, emotion, and intention. Now, imagine for a moment that all your thoughts, there are waves propagating in an ocean of energy. Each wave generates a reaction, a resonance, an echo. This echo returns to you as experience. Therefore, life isn't working against you. She's simply reflecting what you're vibrating. When you understand this, responsibility ceases to be a burden and becomes power. Because if you are the one who created the current reality, you can also create a new one not by force, not by control, but out of conscience. The quantum mind does not change the physical world from the outside in, but from the inside out. She doesn't fight against reality, she reinterprets it. And with this new interpretation, the field reorganizes itself automatically. At this very moment, with every breath, with every thought you choose to hold, you are shaping the vibration of your field. And the field, in turn, it is shaping your reality. That is the power of awakened consciousness. This is the beginning of quantum reprogramming of the mind. From the moment we are born, we begin to form interpretations about the world. Every word we hear, every look we receive, every emotion we feel, everything becomes information stored in our subconscious mind. Over time, this information transforms into internal structures that, through invisible filters that determine how we perceive reality. These filters are beliefs. A belief is much more than an idea. It is an energy pattern that vibrates continuously within us, that influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. IT is the lens through which we observe the world. And what quantum physics shows us is that the act of observing creates the observed world. In other words, the way you perceive reality, that IT defines the type of reality you are able to experience. That if you believe the world is hostile, your mind will only perceive threats. If you believe it is difficult to prosper, you will vibrate with scarcity and attract situations that confirm this belief. Neuroscience explains that beliefs manifest themselves as neural patterns. Each recurring thought reinforces connections in the brain, creating automatic repetition circuits. These circuits are so powerful that the body begins to react emotionally to them, even without a real external stimulus. When, for example, a person believes that they are not enough, your brain repeatedly reproduces a chemical and emotional state of that belief. Over time, this emotion becomes familiar, and the body begins to recognize it as a natural state of being. Thus, the mind creates, the brain reinforces, and the body validates. The quantum field merely reflects. This is a cycle of limiting beliefs, a self-sustaining energy circuit, keeping you vibrating at the same frequency, attracting the same experiences, reviving the same patterns. But here's the good news. In the same way that the brain learns to believe in something, it can all sound learn. And quantum physics shows that by altering the internal vibrational state, external possibilities change instantly. Beliefs are like programs in an energy operating system. You can run a program of fear and limitation, or you can install a new trust and expansion code. The choice is yours, because the conscious mind is the programmer. When you question a belief, you interrupt the automatic flow of energy that sustains be why bringing the light of consciousness upon her. The frequency changes, and the quantum field begins to reorganize itself. Every time you think differently, the brain creates new connections. Each time you genuinely feel something new, the body learns a new chemistry. And when mind and body vibrate together in coherence, reality answers that. Science calls this neuroplasticity. Spirituality calls it your programming. Quantum physics calls it collapse of new possibilities. These are different languages used to describe the same phenomenon. The human capacity to recreate one's own reality through intentional awareness. Imagine your mind as a lens projecting reality onto a vast energy field. If the lens is clouded by old beliefs, the projection will be distorted. But when you clean that lens, when you replace fear with confidence, guilt for acceptance, doubt for clarity, the projected image changes completely. Nothing outside has actually changed, but everything inside you realigned. And this realignment changes the way the field responds. When you deeply believe in something, this belief generates a coherent vibration. The universe responds to coherence, not contradiction. That if you desire prosperity but vibrate with scarcity, the field senses the misalignment and remains stable. But if you align yourself internally with the feeling of abundance, the field adjusts and begins to collapse into realities compatible with that vibration. This is the essence of quantum creation. It's not about controlling the world, but it's about adjusting your frequency so that the world reflects your internal state. True transformation begins when you decide to observe your thoughts without judgment, without resistance, by attendance only. Because observation is the first act of power. To be why observing, you cease to be the character of the pattern and becomes a conscious creator of the script. Every time you question an old belief and choose a new way of thinking, you move energy. And every time it moves energy, you change the subject matter. Therefore, quantum reprogramming is not some distant, mystical process. IT is a daily practice of awareness. That IT is the art of observing the invisible. TO understand the power that vibrates in every intention, and to allow the universe to reorganize itself to reflect the highest aspects within you. The universe is made of vibration. Every atom, every particle, every thought, everything vibrates. Quantum physics shows us that at the most fundamental level of reality, there is no solid matter, only energy in motion. This energy constantly responds to the information we emit, and the main way we transmit this information is through emotions. Emotion is a language through which the body communicates with the quantum field. Thoughts are electrical impulses, but emotions are magnetic waves, and together they form the electromagnetic field that your being emits at every moment. Every time you feel something intensely, it is sending a vibrational signature out into the universe. This signature communicates who you are, what you believe in, and what you are ready to receive. The quantum field responds to this vibration in a precise way, like an energetic mirror that reflects your internal state. Therefore, mental reprogramming doesn't just happen on a rational level. IT is not enough to assert new ideas if emotions remain trapped in old patterns. The field responds to coherence, to the harmony between what you think and what you feel. When mind and heart vibrate in harmony, energy expands and becomes creative. This state is called emotional coherence. That IT is at this point that the observer and the universe become one movement. Neuroscience proves that emotions shape how the brain functions. Positive emotional states broaden perception. They increase creativity and stimulate mental clarity. Negative emotions, such as fear and guilt, they narrow the field of perception and limit the ability to see new possibilities. The brain, when in a state of fear, operates in survival mode, IT activates the past and repeats known patterns that prevent the creation of new realities. But the brain, in a state of love, trust, and gratitude, IT works in expansion mode. He accesses a now, the only point of creation that truly exists. When you cultivate elevated emotions, your heart emits a more coherent and ordered frequency. This frequency influences the brain and synchronizes its waves. Science has already measured this phenomenon. In states of profound gratitude, brain and heart waves come into harmony, creating a powerful vibrational field, capable of altering mental and even biological patterns. That's why, when you feel gratitude before seeing a result, the universe understands that the result already exists. You communicate to the field, this is already real, and the field, obedient and neutral, reorganizes itself to reflect this vibration. Emotion is a glue that holds information in place within the quantum field. Without emotion, thought is just an idea. With emotion, thought becomes a living frequency. Quantum reprogramming happens when you unite thought, emotion, and intention. Thought defines focus. Emotion provides energy. Intention directs the field. These three elements form the triangle of conscious creation. When you visualize something clearly, feel intensely, and believe it with presence, you alter the vibrational structure of reality. The quantum field begins to collapse possibilities aligned with this vibration. Time and space adjust. Coincidences become signs. Opportunities begin to appear naturally. But it's essential to understand that the field doesn't understand words. He understands the emotional frequency. Saying, I want to prosper, doesn't create prosperity. That if internally you are vibrating with fear or scarcity, the field reads a vibration, not the desire. IT reflects what you feel to be true. Therefore, the most profound work is not about desiring something new, but to heal the old emotion that still vibrates in conflict with the new. Every repressed emotion remains vibrating in the field as an unconscious plea for attention. Until it is observed and integrated, she will continue to attract situations that mirror her original frequency. Emotional integration is the true alchemy of consciousness. It's when you look at the pain, the fear, or the guilt not to identify with them, but to release the energy trapped in those emotions, be why welcoming them with presence and compassion. The frequency changes. The countryside is reorganizing itself, and the interior space expands into something new. In this state, the heart becomes the center of creation. You stop forcing reality and start allowing it to flow. The vibration of confidence opens invisible paths, because confidence communicates to the field. It's already done, and the universe responds in kind. When thought and emotion become one, creation manifests itself effortlessly. Life ceases to be a sequence of reactions, and it transforms into a conscious dance between energy and intention. This is a language of emotion in the quantum field, a silent conversation between what you feel and what the universe gives back. And when you learn to speak that language, there are no limits to what can be created. Quantum reprogramming is the point where science and consciousness meet. IT is not an isolated technique, but an internal energy realignment process, where the observer learns to change their own vibration, and, with that, to reorganize the structure of reality around them. To understand this process, we need to remember something essential. Everything in the universe is information. Your body is information. Your thoughts are codes of information. Your emotions are waves that carry information. And the quantum field is the ocean where all this information connects. Reprogramming the mind, therefore, means altering the information you emit. IT means changing old mental codes based on fear, scarcity, and limitation through new vibrational codes based on trust, expansion, and awareness. But how does this happen in practice? The first step is to conscious observation. You can only change what you are able to observe, while remaining unaware of a pattern. It continues to operate automatically, controlling your thoughts and decisions without you even realizing it. Observation brings light, and light, in quantum terminology, is consciousness. When you observe yourself reacting, when you notice a recurring thought, when you identify an emotion that keeps coming back, you are activating the quantum observer, and the simple act of observing already alters the vibrational state of the system. Quantum physics calls this the observer effect. Nothing is fully defined until it is observed, and by observing, you uncover a new possibility. The second step is tonergy acceptance. Many people try to reprogram their minds by fighting against what they feel. But what you resist persists. The energy you reject continues to vibrate within the field. Acceptance is not conformity. It is liberation that in other words, I see what's here, and I choose not to identify with anymore. When you accept an emotion, it loses its power to control you. Repressed energy dissolves, making room for something new. The third step is the vibrational replacement. Every limiting belief can be replaced by an expansive belief, but simply repeating positive phrases is not enough. It is necessary to feel the new state as if it were already real. Reprogramming happens when the body believes what the mind chooses to think. This creates consistency, and consistency is a code that the field understands. For example, if you want to reprogram your fear of failure, don't just say, I am confident. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself already living the result you desire. Feel the relief, the joy, the peace of mind of someone who has already achieved this point. Your body begins to produce the same chemical substances that would happen if the event were real. The brain registers this experience as true, and the quantum field responds to the new frequency. This is where reprogramming ceases to be just theory, and it becomes biology, vibration, and creation. The fourth step is emotional anchoring. Every change requires energetic repetition. The brain creates new circuits when something is practiced. Similarly, the quantum field responds with stability when a vibration is maintained for a sufficient amount of time. Therefore, quantum reprogramming doesn't happen in a single day. It is a vibrational training. Each time you return to presence, each time you breathe consciously, each time you choose to think and feel differently, you reinforce the new energy pattern. Over time, the old code becomes deactivated and the new becomes automatic. The vibration changes. And when the vibration changes, everything changes. The fifth step is expansion of consciousness. When you begin to observe life from this new perspective, he realizes that everything around him is a reflection of his inner self. Challenges cease to be enemies and become teachers. Each experience reveals a part of your energetic code. The universe doesn't punish, it teaches. And when you understand this, resistance transforms into wisdom. The expansion of consciousness is a point where the observer becomes a creator. You stop living in reaction to the world and begins to project the world from its internal state. You understand that time is not linear, but a set of probabilities awaiting your vibrational command. The past no longer defines the future, because at every moment, the present offers infinite possibilities. Quantum reprogramming is, essentially, the mastery of the present. IT is in the present that the observer gains the power to alter the field. And the more present you are, the faster the field responds. Consistent practice creates a new alignment between mind, body, and energy. Neuroscience calls this neurocardiac coherence, a state in which the brain, heart, and the body's electromagnetic field, they vibrate in harmony. At this point, your personal field becomes stable, expansive, and creative. This is where the reprogramming takes hold. Ancient beliefs do not disappear, but they lose the ability to control their own reality. You view them as memories, not as truths, and each memory release returns a portion of your vital energy. The process of quantum reprogramming is a path back to one's essence. It's not about becoming something new, but about remembering who you already are. Consciousness in the form of energy, energy in the form of creation, creation in the form of an experience. There comes a point in the path to awareness when you realize something essential. You were never just an observer of reality. You were always its creator. Throughout our lives, we have been taught to believe that the world happens outside of ourselves, that circumstances define who we are, that destiny is written, that chance governs the universe. But quantum physics reveals a much deeper truth. Reality is malleable, and it responds to the vibrational state of the observer. Everything you've experienced up to this point has been a reflection of what you believed was possible. Every emotion, every choice, every outcome, they all originated from the vibration you held internally. Nothing happens by chance. Vibration is a language of creation, and when you fully understand this, your life ceases to be a sequence of unconscious reactions, and it transforms into a conscious expression of your energy. This is the awakening of the quantum creator. The moment you stop asking and start designing, where you stop searching outside and start generating from within the I N, which you understand that there is no separation between you and the field. You are the field. Everything is connected to everything else. Every thought is a wave that spreads. Each feeling is a frequency that influences a whole AT every moment. Your personal field is interacting with the universal field, creating webs of possibilities that intertwine and collapse into experiences. Therefore, every choice is sacred. Every thought is a vibrational seed. Every emotion is an energetic command sent to the universe. When you awaken to this awareness, start living with presence. Realize that each breath is an opportunity to adjust your frequency, that every silence is a space where creation happens, and that is the power to change any reality that IT has always been inside you. Neuroscience shows that the brain does not differentiate between imagination and reality. This means that when you imagine something with emotional intensity, your body reacts as if it were actually experiencing that moment. Synapses form, hormones change, the electromagnetic field reorganizes itself. You literally become what you imagine. Now, imagine what happens when you use that power consciously, when you choose to visualize what you desire with genuine emotion, not as an escape, but as a form of creation. At that moment, you alter the quantum flow of energy. You communicate the field. This is my truth. And the field begins to collapse into realities compatible with that vibration. This is the essence of quantum awakening. The union of intention, emotion, and presence is not about controlling. It's about co-creating. It's not about asking. It's about allowing. It's not about fighting against what is, but it's about raising the vibration so that what is naturally transforms. The quantum creator understands that everything that exists is a dance of energy responding to consciousness. And the higher the level of consciousness, the more harmonious the dance, the better. Living quantumly means living with purpose. It's realizing that every gesture, every word, every emotion you emit, it has an impact on the field. And when you begin to vibrate with love, compassion, and gratitude, these frequencies return multiplied, because the universe is a perfect mirror of what you are. True reprogramming is not just mental, it's vibrational. It's existential that IT is a return to your natural state as a conscious creator. Awakening doesn't happen all at once. IT reveals itself in layers like a sun slowly rising over the horizon. With each insight, a shadow dissipates. With each new choice, a new reality is born, and the more light there is in you, the clearer the overall vision becomes. You begin to realize that the past doesn't limit you, that the future does not threaten him, and that the present is the only point of power. IT is here at this very moment, that the Creator reveals himself. From that point on, you stop living according to time and begins to live according to energy. You understand that time is merely an illusion of the linear mind, but energy is eternal, and she responds to the present moment. To be quantum is to live in a state of expanded presence. It's about feeling the energy before the form. It's about trusting the invisible before seeing it. It's knowing that everything you're looking for, it's already vibrating inside you, just waiting for your permission to speak out. When you wake up, life ceases to be a sequence of problems to solve, and it becomes a sequence of frequencies to be aligned. You understand that you don't need to fight against the darkness. Just turn on the light, because darkness has never been an opposing force, just a lack of awareness. The quantum creator lives lightly, because he knows that the universe is always in balance. You know that everything that happens is information, and that all information can be reinterpreted, transmuted, elevated. From this point on, duality loses its meaning. Good and evil dissolve into unity of experience. Fear transforms into wisdom. Pain transforms into strength, and consciousness expands in all directions. You realize there is no path to be found. You are the way. There is no destination to be reached. You are destiny manifesting itself. Life is a stage where your energy field dances with the universe, creating endless versions of himself in infinite possibilities of being. This is the awakening of the quantum creator. The profound recognition that everything is energy, and that this energy responds to the vibration of love. When you live from that state, reality ceases to be something that happens to you, and it becomes something that happens thrust from you. Life becomes fluid, coherent, harmonious, and the entire universe becomes your ally on the journey of consciousness. Because it's not the end, there is no separation between creator and creation. There is only the field, a quantum field of infinite possibilities being shaped now by the vibration of your presence. Breathe deeply. Allow the air to enter, travel through your body, and exit slowly. Take it with them everything that no longer needs to remain. For this moment, silence the world around you, and feel the field vibrating within you. There is no longer a separation between what you think, feel, and create. Everything is a single wave of consciousness moving through your being. You understood that the mind is not just a repository of thoughts, but a quantum instrument of creation. With each new vibration, you open portals of possibility. And with each coherent emotion, you shape the fabric of reality. Awakening is not the end. It is the beginning of a new way of existing, a way of living in the present moment, to observe the invisible and trust the process, knowing that each energy choice builds a new path. Today, you are no longer the same person who started this journey. The words, the reflections, the vibrations, everything resonated on some level within his field. And this resonance is the first step in reprogramming. Remember, you are both the observer and the observed, the creator and the creation, the point of consciousness through which the universe recognizes itself. When fear arises, breathe and observe. When doubt arises, feel it and transform it. And when trust blossoms, just allow it, because it is in the state of permission that reality reorganizes itself. With each passing moment, The field is listening to your vibration. What you send out now is what the universe is preparing to give back as O choose to radiate presence, gratitude, and love. These are the frequencies that build worlds. In the next episode, we'll delve even deeper into this journey that exploring the frequencies of quantum manifestation. Like the energy of desire, intention, and emotion, they intertwine to collapse realities. Until then, stay in tune with your inner self. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to what you want, but to what you are. And at this moment, you are awakened consciousness, vibrating in the flow of infinity.